Hey guys, what is going on? DJ the Man here, back here with another video. So PlayStation just had their PlayStation 5 showcase yesterday, and it was amazing. We got some great reveals like Final Fantasy 16, and we got to see some gameplay of games that are coming out like Deathloop and Spider-Man PlayStation, or Spider-Man Miles Morales. You know, that showcase was fantastic, but there's a little bit of a caveat to that. See, after the showcase, PlayStation very quietly released some new information. As if you guys read the title of the video or have been checking out, whatever news blurb I have up here, a lot of some of their games are going to be $70. So PlayStation has revealed only a couple of games that are going to be $70, or rather a few games that are going to be $70. I believe they revealed that Demon Souls is going to be $70, Destruction All Stars is going to be $70, and then the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be $70. And what that comes with is that it comes, of course, with Spider-Man Miles Morales, but it also comes with the original Spider-Man or Marvel Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, upscaled for the PlayStation 5. But Miles Morales by itself is going to cost $50, when normally it would probably only cost $40, but with this $10 price hike, the base game for Miles Morales is going to be $50. I haven't really seen too many YouTubers talk about this topic. In fact, I've only seen like one other YouTuber bring this up in their video. So I thought I'd go ahead and hop on this topic. So I'm surprised, but at the same time, not so surprised. I guess you can say I was kind of naively hoping that games wouldn't go up to $70, but once NBA 2K came out and said that their next gen game was going to be $70, I pretty much knew that was going to be over. I was hoping that NBA 2K was just going to be that outlier, just sports games being sports games, trying to squeeze as much money out of sports gamers as they possibly can, but that was just me being in denial. But not all their games are jumping up to that $70 price tag. I believe the Sackboy's Adventure is still going to be the normal $60 price tag. So how do I feel about $70 games? Now, you know what? I would be okay with some games going to $70. Now, I'm talking about games that don't rely on a lot of microtransactions, or don't have a lot of DLC, or just don't have a lot of money coming into the game after the initial purchase of the game. I'm talking about games like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Ghost of Tsushima. I'm talking about Last of Us Part 2, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. When it comes to those type of games that don't have a lot of DLC or a lot of microtransactions, money coming in after the initial release of the game, then okay, I'm totally fine with the game going up to $70. What I'm not okay with is games that do have a lot of DLC or do have a lot of microtransactions being priced at $70. I'm looking at you, NBA 2K21. So if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm really not that concerned about games going up to $70 for a handful of reasons. The main reason being that I just don't buy games, or rather I rarely buy games at full price. Like, for example, it's been almost a year since I bought a game at full price, and that game being Borderlands 3. I bought this game at a full $60, and which I regret doing, not because it's a bad game. It's a fantastic game. It's just that this game dropped in price so dang quick. I should have just waited. But I love Borderlands. I love playing it with my brother. So I was like, let me go ahead and pick this up. But that was a bad decision. I should have just waited. Now, with that said, I have picked up a couple of games, or a few games, maybe a couple of days after they've released at their $60 price tag. Games like, I believe I picked up Kakarot earlier this year, picked up Last of Us Part 2, picked up Ghost of Tsushima here not too long ago, and picked up, I believe, Avengers sometime last week or the week before that, or somehow like that. And those games, when I got them, were $60, but I had some games that I could trade in to get those games down into the 40s. But in Avengers case, I got this game for like $23 just by trading in one game, and that game was The Last of Us Part 2. I believe that GameStop has some type of thing going on to where if you trade a game towards this game, you get extra money towards it. So, and then with Last of Us still being a pretty relatively new game, that still got a good return on it. So shiz, I got this game pretty cheap just by trading in Last of Us Part 2. So people's like to trash talk GameStop sometimes, but they know what they're doing at sometimes. The point that I'm trying to make here is that I just don't want to pay full price for a game, so I can easily wait for a price drop. Another reason why I won't be dropping $70 on a video game is because I have such a large backlog. Like, oh my goodness, you guys, like I have over 20 games in my backlog right now. So it'd be kind of idiotic to go out and buy a $70 game when I got over 20 just sitting there ready to be played. So you guys may be wondering, why do I have such a large backlog of video games? And that is because that I love deals. If I see a really good deal on a game, instead of buying it at full price, I wait until I see a really good deal on it, and that's when I decide to snatch the game up. For example, GameStop had a sale like earlier this year. Like GameStop has had great sales all year, but there was this one in particular where if you spend like $100 worth of games, you get $50 off. So I only paid $50 for $100 worth of games. That's a pretty dang good deal if you ask me. So that's how I'm able to stack up so many games in my backlog, because I look for great deals rather than going out and getting a game as soon as it comes out. Or rather spending full price when a game first came out. Like for example, I did pick up, like I mentioned earlier, I picked up Avengers day one, but I only paid like 20 something bucks for it because I traded in Last of Us Part 2 and got, you know, a shit ton of money taken off. So those are the three main reasons why I won't be picking up games at $70. I just don't like the idea of paying $70 for a game, and I can easily wait. I got plenty of games in my backlog. And number two kind of connects to number three, and that is that I like looking for really great deals. And when I look for really great deals, that leads into me getting a large backlog, and having a large backlog keeps me from wanting to pay $70 for a game when I already have games to play. So I'm definitely curious how the general public is going to take games going from $60 to $70. Are they going to be more like, are they going to be like just very accepting of it? Like, oh, I guess games are just going to be $70 now. Are they going to be more like me? Or they're like, oh no, I ain't paying $70. I can wait for a price drop. And then I'm kind of curious if it is the latter, where people are kind of like, no, I ain't paying that $70. I can wait, if games will depreciate in price fairly quickly. Like maybe after a month of a game being at $70, by the next month, it's already down to $60. I'm just really curious how the general public is going to take to this. And I am curious about how you all feel. How do you guys feel about certain games going up to $70? Like I mentioned earlier on in the video, I'm okay with certain games going up to $70. Like if Ghost of Tsushima was at $70, I would be okay with that because it doesn't have like a bunch of DLC or a bunch of microtransactions. It's not trying to nickel and dime you. But when it comes to games that do that, I'm not really feeling those types of games being $70. But again, I want to hear from you all. What do you all think? Please leave your comments down below. So let me go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you guys like this video, like the video. And if you like me, subscribe to me. And as always, this is DDG the Man. And I'll catch y'all next time.
Boys 12, girl, you need a shot, B12, no, you do. Girl, you want a shot of Boys 12, it's